All right, we're out here. I have my normal phone. Just gonna turn OnX on the tracker. It's not that I don't know where I am or anything like that. I just like to track where I walked, how many miles, all that crap. What I like to do is go a different way. You know, I could easily take the human trail, but what do you learn doing that? So I'm going in a different way, kind of see maybe if these deer are skirting us, and we take this trail. I always like to just take a different path, maybe learn something new. So once I get up this hill, maybe I'll skirt a little more that way. Man, it's a beautiful day out here. Absolutely gorgeous. 40 degrees, not too cold. Awesome day. Hopefully we find some good intel. Get these cameras down. Hopefully they're not stolen. Hopefully it's a good day. Out here in the swamp. Still there. I already checked it, but my card's still in there with that message. Don't be a dick. That looks like it's still working too. Maybe. So, I actually decided to leave a cell cam up. I've never left a cell cam up all season. I mean, it's March, but I think it might be kind of cool to see what's going on. I pulled that camera that I had out a little ways out in front, and there was a couple decent bucks on there. Nice 8-pointer. Day after I was here. Go figure. Hunter walked right by it, so kudos to him. He didn't mess with it. Bunch of deer, tons of does, bunch of coyotes. But you know, I like to use these Arsenal sticks, man, for trail camera. It's just kind of like the complete package. I mean, you got I think it's 20 inch step to step, the ropes on there, and then you know, you got that max 8er. It's really easy to use, really nice. It packs up nice. I got the this is the Kafaru Shape Charge. Pretty good pack, and it fits on there perfectly. It doesn't get hung up when I'm scouting, so I really like this combination. Going to grab a cell cam. It's still there. Just nervous that I hope the card's in it. Reason being is I just saw a lot of people on it very late in the season. And, you know, I was hunting. I wasn't chasing cameras at the time, so I never really had the opportunity to come and grab it. But it's still there, but it's dead, I think, or somebody turned it off. So hopefully there's a card in it. But I had made a mock scrape here, and had a couple nice ones on there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, man. I tell you what, I was pretty nervous about that one. The reason being is because in gun season, I saw a hunter on the camera, and it was like super late after close, like an hour and a half or something. And it was like the next day, camera died. So I thought for sure somebody messed with it, but maybe not. Maybe they just looked at the card, or maybe they didn't do anything. This is tore up. Look at this. Look at this run. Another one going that way. Right on this edge. Look at it run right there too. Gosh. I think I'm gonna go to the tip of this point, check that out real quick, see what's going on. Since I'm here, it'd be easier to get through going this way. Oh. Yeah, it's such a relief checking these cameras and making sure they're there. So far, 3 for 3. Took 2 down, left 1 up. I got, I think, two more to go. Pretty excited. There's another one that I'm kind of nervous about though, so we'll see. Look at this shit. Freaking Red Bull. It ain't mine, I drink sugar-free. Slobs. You know, one of the things that I do when I scout is I mark kill trees. This is a really nice tree. Some sort of oak. Nice and straight. It's right here in the middle of this big crossing. It kind of looks open if you look at the woods, but a lot of deer go through here. So what I do in OnX is I'll mark trees that I find where I know I can hunt. I can slip in here. This would be a perfect tree for a climber or a saddle setup. I can get up nice and high, 25 feet in that climber. I'll have this whole area covered, especially in gun season. Be absolutely perfect. It's a big thoroughfare. A lot of deer come through here. I just know that from historical knowledge, but I'm gonna mark this because this is a good tree. So if I come here in the dark, I know right where to go. If I want to use the climber, want to hunt this area, boom, I know exactly where to go, how to get here efficiently, and that's the name of the game. So I'm gonna mark this boy, and then I'm gonna get up and find those cameras. I just saw somebody else's camera, waved at it. So if you see me, I guess you see me. Well, I'm happy to admit that we are 5 for 5 today on cameras. I got a camera on a big primary scrape. It's a scrape that's there all the time, every year. I decided to leave the camera on it. See what we see. Well, it took me a while, but found some decent signs. I mean, if he's rubbing that, I mean, you gotta have a pretty freaking wide cage to rub all that. If he did it all at once. I mean, that's pretty high up too. That's a quality animal right there. So I'm about 100 yards from that big rub. Found a little rub and a really, really nice buck bed. I believe that I've already marked this one in the past, but it's just loaded with hair. Just absolutely loaded. I mean, you can see it from here. I think I've marked this one before. You know, it's got some stuff behind it. Yeah, it's a nice one. I have to look on my OnX. I think I've marked that bed before, but I'm not sure. Let me get up in there. Yeah, it's a good bed. Get to this other side and take a peek. That's what the bed looks like. I mean, you can just see there's just every direction poop. Can stage in here for hours until dark. There's a little tiny rub. It's a good spot. Hard to hunt. Hard to hunt. And there's no telling if that's the big one, the big giant rub or not. Bet you there's a bed there too. Go take a peek. Well, I think I found the Mama Jamma bed. kinds of hair in it. Poop. It's all, I mean, you can see nothing is growing here. So this is getting used a lot. And there's tons of hair. That rub, that giant rub, it's probably about 100 yards, maybe 115. This would be a tough one to hunt. I mean, it's so open in here. You'd have to catch them on the trail. Probably this trail right here. There's a nice big tree right there. You know, if I get in here in early season, that might work. That's too close probably. But there's other beds over there. So I don't know. And take this trail to that tree, maybe hook around. See, there might be some more bedding over here. But this is the Mamma Jamma bed. I would think that this is the nicest looking one. I think the biggest buckwood bed right here. There's a lot of water around too, so coyotes can't get to them. This is just dynamite. I need to figure out a setup here. So I marked that tree, and then I found this. Another big bed. I mean, look at the size. That's a big bed, man. That is a big bed. Hair right there. Hair. I mean, that's a nice big bed right there. Big thing behind it. Probably get a wind coming this way. He's looking out this way. I marked that other bed wasn't that far. So I marked that other tree, and then there's a really heavy trail right over here. So I was like, I'm gonna mark that and find a setup. And then I saw this hump, came over, checked it. This is good stuff. I wish there was a big rub in it, but well, the shit there is. I mean, that's small. But even when I've saw like Dan Infault, he finds beds, there's usually like a little rub in it, not necessarily a giant, huge one. So I would call this a buck bed for sure. Man, this is freaking phenomenal. This is, you know, what's funny is I know I'm not too far away. When there was oaks dropping, there was some really good sign. And I think this is where they were coming from. And I was hunting, but I wasn't close enough. This is freaking cat's ass right here. I'm gonna mark this. You know what's interesting too is I've scouted over here before, and over here there's a lot of doe bedding, and this is downwind on the predominant wind, so that makes sense. Even in rut, they might bed here. This is phenomenal. I'm really excited. So I went 10 yards, and here's another one. There's hair in there. I had to kind of scrape it up a little bit. Not a ton, but there's some. And then right there's that big bed. So a lot of activity going on right here. Try to find a setup somewhere. You know what's funny is I've never hunted like right here, ever. I've hunted all around it. Never hunted right in here. It's a shame. Something's going on over here. Indeed. I just stopped to kind of get some water, eat a little snack. I've done about 4 miles. You know, there's this saying on social media, everybody's bragging about how many miles they do. You know, I did 100 miles, and then the next guy says, I did 150 miles. I did 200 miles. I think miles are good, especially when you're looking at new areas. But when you're trying to really key in on some deer and some setups, I think it's better to slow down and take your time a little bit and really kind of focus in. So I'm not really concerned about miles this year. I'm concerned about really dialing in setups. I found some fantastic beds, You know, I was on to that deer in early season when the acorns were falling. I read their sign backwards. I read it the other way. He was actually over here, I think. And I think that's where he was ultimately killed. Now I don't know which deer it is. I heard it was a pretty decent one, but you know, a lot of people been messaging me kind of asking, you know, Polack, where the hell you been last 6 months? You haven't posted a video, you haven't, social media, I've been kind of non-existent. The truth of the matter is I just had a really terrible 23. Last year wasn't a good year for me personally. Back in April I lost my job, company went under, and it was a really good job. I was a warehouse manager, I had a high level position, I made good money, had a lot of perks, I could hunt a lot, and that company closed unfortunately. And you know, I knew it was coming, and I had a job I thought in the bag lined up. One of my buddies was hooking me up at another autonomous vehicle company. Did several interviews, 4 interviews. I thought I was a lock, and all of a sudden they went on a hiring freeze. And actually the manager that was going to hire me, he actually quit. And so my resume might as well just got thrown in the trash at that point. And then you know, that job didn't end up panning out, so I thought I was a lock. I kind of had all my ducks in, you know, one basket, and my eggs in one basket, whatever you want to say. And when that didn't happen, it was like, oh shit, like I gotta find a job. Oh man, that's a mosquito. I was like, I gotta find a job now. You know, I gotta be able to provide for the family. I got a house payment, car, you know, truck payments, all these bills. You know, I gotta work. You know, savings is only gonna last so long. And I tell you what, I applied it, I don't know, 1,000 places maybe. You know, I really sharpened my resume, and I have a really good resume. You know, I've been a professional for 17 years, my professional life. I have some amazing work experience. I've had a lot of responsibilities in my life at jobs, managerial type positions, and I couldn't find shit. I mean, I could not find a freaking job to save my life. And luckily, at the last moment, I applied at this logistics company, and I just kind of knew. Like, I read some reviews online. I just didn't think it was a great place, but I needed something. So, and it was close to home, and they called me right away, interviewed. You know, as soon as I walked in there, I'm like, man, I don't know about this place, but they freaking played me. You know, he was talking about how he needed somebody to really help efficiencies and how to really enhance what they were doing. And I kind of read it as like, well, maybe these guys don't really know what they're doing and they need a little help. And that's kind of what I'm good at, you know, making things efficient and, you know, making productivity go up and stuff like that. And so kind of apprehensively, I took the job, although I didn't really have any other choice. And it ended up being a nightmare. And I was there 7 months, and it was a horrific experience. You know, I was a terminal manager in training, and you know, I quickly found out that the company was broke. They didn't have any money. They weren't willing to spend money to make money and to drive productivity. I mean, they wouldn't even, you know, buy signage to put up. You know, they wouldn't do shadow boards. They wouldn't do anything. I mean, it was pathetic. And then within like 2 or 3 weeks, my supervisor quit because he hated the place. The other supervisor was trash. So now I'm a terminal manager, pushed back to a freaking supervisor, and I'm running the dock. I'm killing myself. You know, I went from, you know, working from home for 2 months at my prior company, not doing shit, to literally running 15, 20 miles a day. Fucked up my ankle, you know, working there. They had this stupid freaking terrace thing, and I rolled my ankle like 30 times in the first 2 weeks. You know, my ankle still hurts. It's been, you know, almost a freaking year, and my ankle's still messed up from that place. But, you know, I think what ended up happening to me is because it was such a terrible place, my hours sucked so bad. You know, I was lied to, I was misled. I guess I went into like a depression, I guess. You know, I've never been depressed in my life. I really didn't know what it was or how to deal with it. And so consequently, I just didn't do shit. Like I just worked and then recovered on the weekends. My schedule was weird. You know, I had to work Sunday through Thursday. You know, I wasn't seeing my kids, my family, my wife very much. She was super supportive, and you know, we had to have this job to make things work. And you know, I kept like just getting, I guess, worse and worse. I've always drank beer and stuff, but it was becoming, you know, a little too much. And you know, I just wasn't doing anything, and I wasn't creative. I didn't feel creative. You know, I tried to make videos. I filmed a bunch of stuff. I never put it out there. I just couldn't edit it. For some reason, I was just in a massive slump, and I was desperate to get out of there. And I was applying at hundreds of positions. Every time I had a break or a lunch, I would go apply for all these different jobs. And I was just like frantically trying to get out of there. But also, you know, I'm Polish and we work hard, so you got to try to do a good job while you're there and give an honest effort. But I hated that place. I dreaded going to work every day, and I can't do that shit. I have to work somewhere that I enjoy what I do. And you spend a lot of time at work. You need to enjoy it, and you need to, you know, not love it, but you don't want to be miserable going to work. And you know, I didn't get in the Total Archery Challenge. That was kind of a bummer. You know, I tried to get tickets, couldn't get into that. It just seemed like a bunch of stuff just kept going wrong, you know. I wasn't making as much money, so financially it was tight. You know, inflation went through the fucking roof. So, you know, our groceries are twice the cost. The DT bill's out of control. It's just all this stuff is just snowballing, you know, and I'm slipping into like a depression, which I've never had in my life. I didn't know how to deal with it. Yeah, I'm a man. I keep it all to myself. You know, my wife is supportive. She's an angel, but, you know, no guy's gonna, you know, tell his wife what's really going on, what's really bothering him, which is probably not the right thing to say. But, you know, and then I'm smashing beers and just, you know, just being a bum. And I started applying at some other jobs. I really wanted to find a job that was like for a privately owned company. Like, you know, I didn't want to do corporate America bullshit anymore. I just wanted to find a good job, close to home, work-life balance. And I found this place, and it's doing purchasing. Now, I did a lot of purchasing, and I had that warehouse manager position, but I purchased everything for that company. So I was really good at purchasing, especially for like production items and stuff like that. And so I applied, and I think I applied in like late September, and I didn't have a lot of confidence, and they called, and they did a phone screening, and it went well, but then I didn't hear back for weeks. And then all of a sudden, you know, I sent them an email, and then it was like a week later they called, and they said, hey, let's do an interview. Did an interview, killed it, went great, didn't hear for weeks. And I'm just, you know, I'm getting more and more into this depression slump. I'm like, what is wrong with me? You know, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm applying at all these other positions. I can't get through. I can't get interviews. And you know, I ended up doing at this new place a phone screen and then 3 Zoom interviews. And you know, I'm just like, you know, come on already. Like, this is crazy, you know. And I did the 5th interview. Finally, they called me in like late October. And I already went into deer season, not in a good place mentally. You know, physically, I wasn't in a great spot either. And I could only hunt on the weekends, so that was making me sad. You know, hunting is like my therapy. That's like where I cleanse my soul, is in the woods. My whole life, it's always been that way. You go out in the woods, there's something about being out here, being alone, seeing the sun come up, you know. And I was only hunting, I could only hunt a day and a half a week. And for me, that's just not enough, dude. That's not enough. And I was always behind the deer, you know. I can't really scout, so I was always like a week behind. And I was getting on good sign, and I was hunting super aggressive and just struggling. You know, I had my worst deer season of my life. So, you know, I finally get an in-person interview at this new place, and you know, I go there and I killed it, man. I did well. I really jived with the people good. I really liked them. I saw the whole campus, the facility, this privately owned business. And I was there for like 3 hours. It was incredible. And, you know, they said, you know, they might have an offer coming soon. And, you know, then it took another week. And I was just like, dude, like, what is going on? So, you know, finally they made me an offer, and it was a good offer, great opportunity, and I took it. So I started there on November 20th. And I thought really, you know, when I got that new job that it would just fix everything and that everything would just be perfect. And it took some time. It didn't really happen right away. You know, I went into Christmas and it was tough because, you know, financially strained, and then trying to hunt, trying to kill deer. I wounded a bunch of deer, which is not really like me. I was wounding them with my rifle. I wounded a doe in bow season, didn't find the deer. So I was just down in the dumps, man. You know, I got this new job, and then I got sick like within the first 2 or 3 weeks, and I had to miss time, and that's like embarrassing for me because, you know, I don't call off. I'm always at work. If I call off, it's because of the kids. You know, that shit happens, but you know, I don't call off sick. Like I'm always go to work. So I was kind of embarrassed for that, even though they were very, you know, welcoming and let me work from home and stuff. And you know, and then in like January, I fractured my knee. You know, my damn kids, they bet me, and they're like, I bet you can't go over this rollerblading ramp in rollerblades. And I was like, okay, you know, and I think I had a couple beers in me, and I went over this freaking ramp, and my tibia and my femur just smashed into each other when I landed. I landed weird, and it was this horrific sound. It was the bones smashing together, and I have a fracture in my knee. So, you know, that put me out a little bit, you know, slowed down. I wanted to be out scouting. I wanted to be out here doing all this work. And, you know, now I'm having to miss work because I got to go to freaking doctor's appointments. I had to go get an MRI. That's more money out the pocket. So it's like, it's keeping snowballing, you know, and I'm just like, when is this going to stop? You know, like I need a freaking break here, man. And, you know, the knee ended up being fine. You know, I'm very lucky. It could have been absolutely horrific. If I would have hit it any harder, it would have actually sheared right where the fibula attaches, and I would have had to have full knee reconstruction. It would have been absolutely devastating. But, you know, I got it lucky on that one. And, you know, health insurance, it covers some, but you still got to pay a bunch out of pocket. So, you know, the hits, they just keep coming. And, you know, things are starting to look better at work. You know, I'm starting to doing good. I'm learning. I'm getting used to the whole process and how they do everything. And then, you know, just about 3 weeks ago, catch COVID. This is the third time I've had COVID, and for whatever reason, it was kind of bad this last time. You know, I don't know if I just have bad genetics or if because I'm overweight. You know, I guess I just don't have a great immune system. And when I was sick, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of being sick. You know, I'm sick of getting sick and being knocked on my ass. Like, I gotta do a change here. I gotta change some shit up. You know, the beers and stuff and unhealthy eating, that shit's gotta stop. And that's really what I'm focused on right now. And, you know, I haven't had a beer in, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, man. I feel phenomenal. I don't even know if I'll ever drink again. I mean, probably I'll have maybe when I get old. I don't know. At this point, I have no desire to drink alcohol anymore. You know, I just want to, you know, get exercise and eat healthier and work on some cardiovascular health. And, you know, it's really mentally, it's really kind of cleared me up. And, you know, I have all these goals and hunting and life and things I want to do. And alcohol is just not going to be part of it anymore. I want to really see if I can fix this immune system. Whatever the fuck is wrong with my immune system, it just seems like when I get COVID, it just kicks my ass. It just knocks me down. You know, 103-degree fever for 3-4 days. I mean, that's crazy. My wife got it too. She had it bad again too. You know, not as long. It only lasted for her 3-4 days, but you know, it took me 2 weeks to feel better. So I don't know what the hell is, you know, I have with COVID, but you know, it's time to start getting into shape. It's time to start doing some stuff, living life. And you know, I don't know if I'm gonna put this in the video or not. You know, some of you guys were interested. You were messaging me, texting me, are you okay? What's going on? Is everything all right? Everything was fine. It's just, I was just in a really bad slump. But I really feel like I'm coming out of it. I feel really good. I feel focused. I feel clear. I have a lot of clarity. And it feels nice to come out here and put some miles on the ground you know, really kind of scout and kind of hone in on some areas. And, you know, I heard some turkeys gobbling today. I'm pretty excited, man. I have a lot of stuff I want to do. I got in a total archery challenge this year, so I'm excited about that. Couldn't get the wife in, which was absolutely trash. I just don't understand. You know, I know it's the demand for the tournament or the challenge is just so high, but it's like, it's so demoralizing to sit there and try to get tickets and you can't. It's just stupid. You know, if I had the freaking money, if I had 500 grand, I'd start my own total archery challenge. You know, just in Michigan or Ohio, Ohio, Indiana, you know, like a little circuit or something. So if anybody wants to do that and they got some capital, hit me up. We can do the Polack archery challenge. But, you know, that's just my little update. Going forward, I'm really excited to get back and be creative again and make videos. You know, people don't realize that these videos take a lot of time, a tremendous amount of time. You know, you got to film them. You know, I like to have a lot of B-roll. I like to show the products. I like to, you know, I like to test the products. So you got to test them. You got to know what you're talking about. You know, I've always tried to have quality over quantity, and I'm really excited to be creative again and get out and make some videos. You know, I filmed a bunch of crap last September. I didn't even put it out. I didn't even edit it. So I'm going to drop some of that stuff. I'm going to put this video out and, you know, just let you guys know I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys messaging and texting and checking up on me. You know, I appreciate my wife, Nicole. You're amazing. You know, she really stuck by me through this whole bullshit I went through, and was really the rock. You know, that every good, you know, man, or every man needs a good woman, and she's the epitome of that. Kids are doing good, but, you know, I want to get back. I want to start making some videos, making some content. I got a ton of products to review. I tested a bunch of stuff in deer season, and I got to put that out there. I gotta give the people what they want. So, you know, that's the update. And you know, it's kind of funny is, you know, I was making less money, and you guys really tuned in to the videos in October, November, December, January. Man, I was, you know, I get paid from YouTube, and I was getting some fat checks those months, and that really helped out a lot when I was, you know, struggling. You know, because I always get my YouTube money on like the 20th, and I got a nice fat check right before Christmas, and I was kind of struggling, so that was really cool. You know, I was able to take that money, spend it on the family, and you know, it's because of you guys. You guys tune into the channel, and you know, I appreciate it. You know, I've forged lifelong friendships with a whole bunch of you guys that actually watch these videos, and I really appreciate that. Like-minded people, not, you know, shady people that kind of stab you in the back. You know, really people that are good people, and means a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Get home. It's about 1:18. Get home and spend some time with the family. I do need to finish filming a video on a saddle, so I can get that saddle back to the poor guy that let me borrow it. I feel so bad. He let me borrow it. I've had it for like 6 months. Total shitbag. But that's it, man. You know, if you stayed to the end, you know, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and you know, I'm back for good. So let's get it. Let's get it.